Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today for Mommy Monday, we are going to talk about something that just hit home with me these past few weeks, and that is dealing with baby's first cold. Now, Bash had just recently went through both a cold, teething, and now we're working on an ear infection. He got 2 teeth in, so I'm not an expert, and obviously I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you the things that worked for us, and things that I liked. I'll mention a few other things that we did try, but I'm just going to stick with the things that happen to work for him in case these happen to work for you as well. So just a little disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. Definitely check with your pediatricians before you try any of these products if they are more like medicinal type things, but let's just hop right into things. So obviously when you're dealing with a baby that has a stuffy nose or is congested at all, definitely always want to go with something with saline in it. And we used both the Little Remedies saline spray as well as the boogie wipes. I don't think these are as talked about or as high rated as they should be. I actually prefer these than the saline drops. He did not like these going in his nose, so it was always kind of like a struggle to get it. Like, while it would make things definitely more loose and have more of a flexibility to kind of suck it out, it was just so much of a struggle, and if I was by myself at home, it was very hard to get him to use these, whereas I found the same effect took place just by wiping his nose with these. I don't know if it's the fact that he inhaled like the scent of, you know, kind of that saline water, because these are the unscented ones, and these are used with natural saline, but these I would wipe on his nose, and I swear in a few minutes he would have more of a runnier nose, able to breathe more, and I didn't have to like go in his nose or something. And even though I don't wipe his nose with these constantly, anytime I noticed that he was extra dry, if I had to wipe his nose, I would definitely reach for these over regular tissues or anything like that. So these came in great hand, and I highly, highly, highly recommend the boogie wipes. Now, to break up the congestion, instead of using a bulb syringe, which I used that and was comfortable with that for a hot minute there, it just doesn't get like the deep congestion. I feel like a bulb syringe is good for if you see anything visible within the nose that is really easy to get, but you could hear like it just all of the mucus kind of like stuck more on the inside of his nose, like where it was just hard to reach, and I didn't want to go that. You don't want to go too far in with a syringe or that can be damaging. So I came up with the Nose Frida, or I came to finally purchase the Nose Frida, and I'm telling you right now, I'm one of those people that was like, this is the absolute most disgusting thing in the world, because why would you want to suck boogers in your mouth? But it actually never even comes close. Most of the time, unless he has like a huge amount that I get out, it never really even moves past like here, and there is a little filter right here that will keep anything from going in, and it just filters the air. So you put this in your mouth, this up their nose, and it doesn't even have to go in their nose a lot, which makes it a lot more safe. And granted, either way, whether you use a bulb syringe or this, it's going to get that same sucking pressure, but I feel like you can get so much more. It is absolutely ridiculous, and you will, I'm telling you right now, you will become obsessed with using this, because I was always like, this is so gross, and then when I finally got it, now I'm like, I'm going to battle that congestion and get everything out, and he feels so much better. So it's still a struggle to get him to let me use it sometimes, but afterwards you can see like the relief on his face of like being able to breathe. So I highly recommend this product. One thing you always want to have in your house is definitely a thermometer. This is one of the ear thermometers. I would say that I kind of regret not getting one of the forehead thermometers, so if you're in the market for one, definitely go with one of the temporal ones, because if not, we would actually forego this one for the ear, and we started giving him like the whole rectal thermometer thing. I know they do that for a lot of babies, and after a certain age they kind of stop, but with this, you get so uneven temperatures. Like, we'd get one temperature in one ear and a different one in another, because he'd either be moving or it just wasn't placed the same way. And with babies, they just move so much, so we would always have to do like a second go around with something else. Whereas the temporal one, if you just run across the forehead, it's exactly what they do at most doctors these days, and it gives a really good reading. So while I like this and I like having this, I mean, I can use it for when they're older or anything, and I think it'll give a little bit more accurate reading. I'm kind of sad that I did not get a temporal one for a baby. I actually picked up the Zarbee's Naturals baby cough syrup and mucus reducer, and this is for infants 2 months and plus. This isn't a grape flavor. I don't remember seeing other flavors, But this was just, I'm trying to think, it's gluten, dairy, and dye-free and contains no drugs or alcohol. So this is definitely more on the herbal, natural side. It's kind of like the whole grape water thing. I swear by grape water. If he's ever gassy, I give him grape water. It helps clear everything up. But I know it doesn't work for all babies. It's just like giving an adult ginger ale instead of anything medicinal to kind of break up that gas. But I swear by grape water, and this is kind of along the same thing. It has different serving suggestions, so I gave this to him. It wasn't a wonder product because obviously there isn't anything medicinal in it, but I feel like it did help. So if I ever thought he was really congested or really kind of stuffed up and coughing a lot during the day, I would give this to him. But it's not strong enough that's like, if he got to a certain age and I was like, he needs Tylenol overnight, I would not really suggest this for overnight because I don't think it really lasted that long. I think it kind of ran through his system quickly. But I did like this for like those short kind of periods during the day if I thought he was really, really bad and needed some help. So I did pick that up. As we were speaking on the topic, I do have infants Tylenol. This is something that obviously you want to talk to your doctor. I mean, anything that's medicinal, even the Zarbee's natural product, I would still talk to your doctor about. But the infants Tylenol is pretty, I feel like, spoke about among the pediatricians and what they tell you. This we only used when it was really bad overnight, and by really bad I mean he was waking up not able to sleep because he was either so stuffy or coughing or, you know, the whole teething thing. It just all kind of clashed at once. So at one point he only slept for like 2 or 3 hours, and it wasn't that I was like completely drained and needed sleep myself, but babies need sleep, and he was just so uncomfortable. I felt so bad for him, and so it was ever really bad nights we would give him Tylenol, the correct dosage for him, but we would give it to him so that it kind of helped ease that congestion and the pain and everything, and it helped tremendously. I feel like I see more of a thing in him with the Tylenol than Motrin, because now that he's over 6 months, he is allowed to have ibuprofen, which my pediatrician did recommend because the teething was kind of very much throwing him off. But I feel like Tylenol has much more of an effect on him than the Motrin does, and I feel like the Motrin is stronger than the Tylenol, but I could be wrong about that. So when he was really, really bad with coughing and congestion, and if his temperature was ever a little bit above the norm, this helped and worked so well and helped him sleep at night and kind of get back on track. So I definitely really liked this stuff when he was sick. And last but not least is probably my favorite tool that we found. So whenever he is sick or the air is dry in his room or like outside, we always have a cold mist humidifier kind of putting moisture back into the air. But we went out and decided to try a vaporizer instead, and we got a vaporizer that wasn't super steamy. So if you were to walk into the room, you can notice a difference in the temperature. Like, it does make it warmer, but it's not like some of those that make it super, super hot and like foggy because it's so steamy. We got one for a small room that fit his room, and it just made everything the right temperature, and it worked so well. I put the vaporizer in one night, let it run one night, and I swear by the next day he was like an entirely different baby and felt so much better. He was able to sleep the entire night. He was out like a log because he had slept so crappily the nights before. The vaporizer worked so well. I know that they're kind of iffy about them being in kids' rooms, but from the warnings it just makes it sound like it's more of they're afraid of the toddlers that'll kind of go up and want to touch things, and obviously being hot, it could burn them. So it's more of, you know, he's a baby, he's not even standing up in his crib yet. We always keep it further away from his crib, so he doesn't even have access, he's not crawling. So I think as long as you are watching it and you are watching your child to make sure that they're not around it, I think you're okay. But again, if you're super nervous, definitely check with your pediatrician first. But the vaporizer worked so much better for him. The warm mist just cleared up his airways and the stuffiness in his nose, and that worked so well. But you just have to watch because sometimes they don't run all night long. But other than that, that is everything that worked for us this kind of cold season, since it is coming around to be that time. We are still dealing with the ear infection, but for that we had to get antibiotics, and we are still using certain things like this in conjunction with that because, like the nose Frida, still using that, and I'm very happy with that purchase. But if you guys have babies and are going through the first cold or even the like 100th cold, I hope not, but I hope something that I mentioned helps. Let me know down below, especially if you have other remedies, even if they're herbal or medicinal, and let me know what works for you, because I'd love to know and see if it happens to help him at all. But other than that, I don't have anything for you, and I hope you guys are having a terrific day. Bye guys!